Thank you for being here. In case you don't know who I am Aurora. I am the founder of Aura Hypnosis Healing as well as RAAH, Reiki, Angelic, Alchemy Healing. And you can find my information as well as anything you want to know about me and the services and what I offer under risingphoenixaurora.com, where you could also find me on Patreon to support these videos that we make. We're here every Friday, 1 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you hit the bell button and subscribe. Love y'all. Thank you for being here. Today's channeling is a Galactic Energy Update. Lots going on. I think it's been about, I know we missed last week, Friday, so it's been about 2 weeks since we chatted. Thank you for joining me. Love you guys. So if you have a question along the way as we are speaking, feel if you could just write question right in front of it and I will keep track of it. Lily and Minnie should be there. So perhaps Lily, I think it'd be easier. Just, message them to me, the questions. Thank you as well for being here to help support this as well. All right. Wonderful. Okay. So there's lots of going on. Having the fire back here. Lots and lots going on. Boy, oh boy. So where do we start, right? Okay, so it's so far it's been an absolutely phenomenal year, and that could be a year where it sure has transformed you in ways that could have been hard, right? But yet there's such beauties right after say the hardships or after the struggle or the rebirth going on. Now, so this week is a very important week, because some of you might have been feeling tired. What's going on is that this week, so for example, yesterday was 02/20/2020, so 2/20/2020, right? Wow. So there has been some strong, anytime you all see any, we talk about them through our videos, but anytime you see like a repetitive number like that, especially like a 20/20/2020 like that, or 02/20/2020, it's a time of amplification of energies, portals, and it is a time most definitely that there is a shift going on within the earth. If you, for example, if you look at the skies, for example, we don't have clouds. We don't have white clouds. But did you all notice that there's like there seems to be a layer of some kind over the sun? So if we remember, they think that we're going to forget these things. If there's no clouds, typically you would just see the sun full on, right? There wouldn't be like this layer of, it almost seems like a fog of some point, but it more or less, it feels like it's a filter. So you're looking at the sun, but you can't, see it or as strong. So with that, what's going on is that we want to start sending, what they're asking is we want to start sending love light. Now, if you're new to our channel, I do channel the RAAH Collective. And there is many benevolent beings that are part of this beautiful collective that has a multitude of alien races that are benevolent, working together. And, we're here every Friday channeling different messages from them. Okay, so they've been really having me look at the sun, and they're like, what's, you see what's going on. And I see what's going on. Have you guys noticed that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's more than chemtrails. I can't say the name of who's creating it for my own safety. However, it is something that is technology that is creating a layer of filter in front of the sun or overall our atmosphere. Okay, you guys have heard of it, where they're trying to block out the sun. Okay, that's all I can say there. So what we can do is that we can see with our imagination, right? They lied to us. They told us that our imagination is not real. Very inaccurate. If you've learned through some of my teachings through Aura, RAAH, the Isis Priestess program, then you understand that actually the imagination is the connection to manifesting, creating, because your pineal gland houses all your senses, your hearing, sensing, feeling, knowing. People think, the ultimate prize is seeing, but in actuality, the seeing can be very much influenced when it's the feeling and the knowings in the heart, the claircognizances that cannot be fooled. So when we are looking at the sun and the skies, it'd be beautiful. 111, send love to the earth. Beautiful for y'all to see that fog or filter that is being created, to see it disintegrate just with your imagination. And believe it or not, just by something that simple, when you're looking at nature and, I love to lay on the grass and look above. It's just as simple, it will integrate. So perhaps you won't be able to see it with your physical eyes. However, you will sense it with your energetic, your energetic Merkaba, your tortosphere, your auric field. You will sense a difference in the sky. And it's a form of just disintegrating what's blocking out. So why is it that they're targeting the sun? The reason why is because it is activating. It is activating, has positive activation codes that come forth very easily. It's a very easy focus point for the galactics, all our soul families in union working together, for them just to connect to the sun and, echo out coding, purification frequencies. The sun is very much seen like the fire, etheric fire, purification. As we know, that's what's going on right now. We have purifications occurring within the earth that are shifting, that some of these densities are trying to, help themselves, or they've been stuck for a large amount of time. Can you talk about timelines? Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Awesome. Now, so what would be the strongest focus point? So we know that the event is going to occur sometime in the future, right? Now, those could be individually or together. So their focus point would be our sun. Our sun. This is going to be their portal, you can say, as well as the portal of the collective of hearts that's within the earth, the inner earth. These are very important. So we have love emanating from the center of the earth. Now, whether that is a flat earth that you believe in or a spheric earth, which I'll talk about that a little more in a minute. So when we have these energies coming through, then it's a focus point. So of course they're going to target some of these focus points like the sun to try to filter out some of that strength. Okay, so it's really important right now, especially with the shifting that's occurring. We talked about in the last channeling, how Atlantis, the positive timelines have come into a fruition where we can now organically start bringing forth some of that pain and trauma and guilt and fear that we held from that. So this week is a very strong portal week. So if you all help out with the sun right now, it could help out at its true immensity that is meant to be. Thank you. You all sending me questions. Okay. I know it seems so simple, but it's huge. It's huge. Remember that when we together as a group, even if we're done right now with this channeling, we're done. We go outside for a minute and just start seeing that transmuted, that evaporating. It can make that much of a shifting. It can make anywhere from 20 to 30 to 50, depending on how many people are collectively focusing on that all throughout the day. It can shift it to at least 50 or more, they say, as far as its potency being at the strength of blocking out those codings that are coming in. Those codings are coming in from Arcturians, are coming from benevolent beings like Pleiadians. And the list goes on and on. Andromedan can connect through these portals as well. And other, serious, other galactic constructs that are out there, galaxies as we call it, that can connect. So it is like for example, it's like if you created a crystal grid, you can say, and when you're creating a crystal grid, there's always like a main focus point that you want at the center, and that would be like your generator. And so that the sun is like that. So it's just your generator where you can portal to portal where you can send out energies as a collective. I was talking to one of my sessions, and I think it might have been my last alchemy class that we had, and yeah, the Isis Priestess program, and we were talking about benevolent beings and how much we don't realize that how much help is out there, but we have been programmed to not ask for help, to not believe that we are worthy, you know, to get the help. Yeah, and all these beautiful benevolent beings that are either part of our galactic soul families, as we are multidimensional beings that we carry a fractalization of, or are there just assigned as benevolent beings who we have called for through always through the approval of our higher selves, and are waiting for us just to reach out to them. You know, we talk about dragons often, and all these humanoid, different but beautiful benevolent beings. So we're seeing like at least a higher percentage right now, where we before it used to be like a 10% of negative polarized beings throughout this universe, to like a 90% positive beings. Okay, and but right now we're seeing within this timeline, we're seeing more of a 8% negative beings as we're helping positive polarized reptilian beings, yeah, reptilians all over the universe or other universes. We're seeing a good percentage, which is a very high amount. If you think about, we're talking about 20%. You've watched some of our hypnosis sessions where we had billions and millions healed of reptilians, and that is in unison. Some of you just have you let me know, you don't have to do an aura, you can just be connecting to energies in the universe. Some of you might even have a dream where you connected to a reptilian, and all of a sudden you've all have told me that they wanted assistance, so you send them love, and then from that it created a ripple. Some of your guided meditations that you joined me on Zoom on Patreon, the once a month group chat, and then where I do a guided live meditation. That one's the $4 tier if you want to join that. But some of you have gone into a frequency where you felt that there was a collective out there, like a cluster of a collective just kind of hanging around in the atmosphere, and it wanted assistance. So therefore you are that powerful, you are that invincible, you are once you stand forth in your sovereignty, your empowerment, your realization that you are just, that is possible within your imagination, within who you are, then you can heal. You know, you've come back from the meditations and you said that you healed you know, a collective out there that was reptilian, and you help them positive polarize. It's just that simple. All we have to do, so basically, is we have to ask, they have to wait for us to ask for help and permission, because they're benevolent beings. So they're never going to intrude upon you. They can only come when asked, when requested, and always asking from a you know, a frequency of, yes, you can call forth on them sometimes when you're in fear. Perhaps, you know, you're having an energetic attack from an entity or an energy, or you're just needing healing from trauma. And then you could also call them from a, you know, a empowered frequency. Either way, they will listen to you and understand that they are there the minute you call for them. But what we always say is, first though, if you're going to call for beings, you want to surround yourself with your own source love light. Okay. Now, if you want to learn more about that shielding and source love light, the easiest alchemy class that I have is the quantum alchemy channeling, where we're working with your all the way up to the 13th dimension, 12 dimensional dimensions, and then you get basically an alchemy symbol for every single dimension, every single chakra. You're working to the 13th chakras. And then what that does, it actually creates a layer after layer of positive, your source, infinite love light. It's like a beautiful layers of like a beautiful onion, but more like a flower that had that you could imagine, like a flower that has a multitude of petals. Oh, or like a rose. Yes, that's right. They just showed me an image of a rose. So beautiful rose that you peel, and she opens up and she opens up another layer and another layer. So it's like you are inside that rose, and you have all these beautiful force fields of intentions of love, intentions, especially right now. We are seeing a strong. Have you all noticed how it has changed? The energies have changed because of 5D really coming into a activation. Unfortunately, we have all these cellular companies announcing 5G. Here's the speed, and it's like, oh gosh, like torture. But have y'all noticed how more sensitive you're becoming to the electronics? Like to the, say you got a PC, you have a laptop or a phone, and all of a sudden you, especially this week, started feeling it. It's like a pressure. So when I communicate to you all, they help me sense and feel. I'm extremely sensitive, so I will feel what the collective is feeling. So that I can understand, I will feel what the collective is feeling. So therefore, it feels like a pressure. Though I have my force fields, so the force fields, it's like a filter that's, filtering that out. But what others who might not have stronger intense and are not working intently when they wake up, when they're going to bed, or even if you have some of these, perhaps you need to amplify them stronger than you normally have. Maybe you're going to have to add some additional colors, some additional alchemy symbols and intentions. But it feels like a bit like a wave, and it doesn't feel comfortable. It's like a wave coming out of your electronic device, and it's like pushing onto your energy. It's like pushing it's trying to push onto your auric field, your energy. It's trying to push onto your Merkaba. So it's really important that you're working with your Merkaba right now, spinning it. And that's a whole class. We can talk about that, but that's again through the quantum alchemy channeling or the Isis priestess program, which actually we're going to open that up for males as well, though you would have to go through a process and make sure, because it is sacred information that we're sharing. So we are going to open that up for in April, as we do have beautiful divine masculines out there that are looking for this information as well. So it feels like it's hard to explain. It's like energetic. It feels like pressure, trying, but not like nice pressure. It's like AI, like a blanket of AI, like, and then it's like trying to push up against your energies. So yeah, and then it's making you exhausted and tired. So yeah, yep, headaches. Seeing your messages coming in as headaches for sure. It's because it's trying to come into your crown and your third eye. So it's making you more tired. Yeah, your eyes. That's right, Leslie. Your eyes have been aching, almost like on fire a little bit too. So that'll cause a headache, eyes aching, a little bit like feverish from the inside though. But when you take your temperature, it's not a fever. It's just from the inside. Yeah, a bit like static. Absolutely. Yes. You guys have, you guys are connected. So beautiful. Yeah. So then right now you want to be working with, stronger intense right now. Standing strong in your heart, like we always teach. None of this like, oh, you're talking about 5G, this is fear-based. None of that. We're talking about how to, filter these things out. Yeah. Top of the head. Yep. Headaches on the top of the head is, it's like a pressure trying to come in. And what's going on? So let me explain to you why you're feeling this. Okay. So you know how your chakra systems, so you have your 7 major, but we teach all the way up to the 13 chakras. So let's just talk about something simple for you all, because that's hours and hours of talking of 13 chakras through the classes that we give. So basically what's coming in, so what's it's like, okay, so if you have, like we said, a rose, right? There's layers and layers and layers. So it's like, in a sense, like they're kind of like, if you're not protecting your force fields and you're not setting those tents, it's like they can actually get through one of your layers. They could get through one of your organic layers that are there naturally. Okay. Thor is sleeping so cute next to me. So then it's like they can make a little hole, like your auric field. They can make a hole in it. They can also push through it and enter through it. But that's what the pressure you're feeling, like that 5G, unfortunately, trying to come in. So that's what they wanted to talk about really strongly about. So it's really important, yes, that you are protecting yourselves. So simple things like we talked about in the past, like using a Metatron cubic star, a flower of life, a Merkaba, toroidal sphere, using some of these shapes. But if you want to, but again, through the quantum alchemy and the Isis priestess, they give you a alchemy symbol for every single chakra that is a organic imprint that goes into that force field, and basically it makes it stronger, it amplifies it. If you could imagine kind of like a blanket, so these are all blankets and layers over you. So maybe we have, say, a purple blanket over us here. That could be like a layer of that rose petal we were talking about. And perhaps, you say you're 20, you're 30, 50. It's been a lot of years that we've been in these densities. So what happens with that purple bubble or auric layer around you is that this auric layer now has become a little worn down, a little weak. If it was a blanket, if you had a blanket, after all those years, perhaps it'd be a bit turned down, right? Like maybe it might have some holes in it. That blanket could be a little faded, right? Maybe it started off with a vibrant purple, but now it's a bit faded. It's a bit tired. So then we teach you how to recharge these layers. But you all, like we always teach, you can do this as well yourself. Try to, work within, even though you don't have the alchemy symbols, you can work with your energies and make that purple more vibrant. That violet purple that, comes out of the auric, out of the crown, the indigo here. Okay. Y'all see me keep drinking water. Gosh, I can't. You have to keep drinking it. It's like that protects more, even more so. It protects some of that pressure trying to push on you, because the minute that water comes in, it starts creating a force field too, and it starts going into your body and creating even an inner force field inside it, energetic. Okay, question. Is this why so many of us are having a hard time observing vitamin D or any vitamins that yeah, exactly. So, but even then, like if you buy, say over the counter vitamin D, you have to be very cautious because it's been processed. They're going to put some kind of negative powder into them. They won't tell you, obviously, they'll hide it, but they are going to put a negative powder into anything, even vitamins, unfortunately, that are going to affect you. So better off eating something that's organic that would have the vitamin D instead, like, oranges, and I can't remember what other, but look into it. What else has a strong vitamin D? That would be a better way instead of taking actual pills, because it goes through that process. You don't want to be taking powder and whatever they're adding. You don't want to be doing that. That'll make you weaker, your energies. Can we use our dragons to transmute and remove the sun filter? Absolutely, 100%. Use your fire dragons to burn off some of that filter. Use the wind to blow it away and start disintegrating. Some of you might have sun dragons that are made out of sun energy. Use some of those sun dragons, golden dragons. Oh, there's so many. If every single element that you can think of, there is a dragon. We just had our Reiki for kids and it was so beautiful. We talked about dragons. So there is wood dragons, there is gold dragons, tree dragons made out of, leaf, bark. Every single element that you see in this creation, there is a dragon for it. Star, wind, water, earth, fire, the obvious ones. But yeah, everything that you can see that is organic can have dragons. Even something as simple as like fruits. There could be adorable fruit dragons, yeah, it's so adorable, so cute. Let's see, yeah, copper, you name it, like there's dragons. Use them, call forth on them. Baby dragons out there. Oh, I've been seeing a lot this month of readings. Like, it's really important right now that you meditate. And if you want baby dragons to come forth, for you to, because there's like eggs right now that are kind of like dragon eggs that are waiting to awaken this month, especially in the month of the 3 next month. Okay, really, really important. So for you, just it's just as simple. Again, like we teach you, your imagination. You just meditate upon that intuition, and there you are. You connect, and you can bring forth you could be a baby, a mama dragon or a dada dragon, and have them interacting with you every day and working with them, just like you would have a puppy, you would have a cat, and you want to interact with them like that. Okay, so let's see what other questions you guys have. How can I form a group to clear the dragon lines here in England, or am I okay to do this on my own? Been working on the energy since 2012. I think it'd be cool. Wouldn't it be beautiful if some of you would create some dragon spiritual groups? Wow, those would be fun. Definitely create one. Facebook, I don't know where. There's MeWe. MeWe's pretty good. That you can make some groups there, and it's just as simple. Even if it's just 5 or hundreds or thousands, it doesn't matter, as long as it's a collective that's coming together and setting an intent. Yeah. Okay. So just keep sending me questions if you guys have them. I'm gonna keep watching out here for them. Let's see. Going back to, then I was talking to them, I was like, recently, I was like, why? We remember that channeling that we had was, we went to Sirius, star constellation. And before that, though, they took us through a construct of the earth and the plane and the form that it could look like. So do you all remember the four centaurs and how there was, and if you haven't watched that, then you would find that under my playlist. I have playlists for you all that makes it really easy. You go under the creation story 4 centaurs. You can watch that from the beginning and figure out what we're talking about. But basically, it did start off, originally did start off as a flat plane. So this earth can be seen at its origins like a flat plane, right? But eventually then it did convert into a spheric, say, construct. But overall, either way, whichever you believe, we've given you basically both. We talked constantly about spherics, and then through that series channel, we talked about what if you did, tap into the beginnings of it being a flat plane, or if you believe in that collective, then that's what it would look similar to. Like, the reason to that is not one thing is one way. So the reason why they channeled that in that session was because they want you to think beyond. They want you to think beyond, like, okay, so if something's not one way, then what is actually the truth? Is that this is just a projection. This is just like a simulation and a projection. And it doesn't really matter, because whether you believe it's a sphere or a flat earth, regardless, it's a projection that we are all within this simulation. And again, if you want to find out details about that, we do talk about that through our international retreats, by the way, which is so exciting. In case you want to join us, we are having our retreat in Hawaii is the earliest one, March 15th, but you could check out my website for more information on that. And we still have we have some spots left. So if you guys want to join us, still not late. It's never late. We both the Chicago retreat and the Siesta Key, Florida retreat, so sold out, and some of them sold out like even the week before. If you are intently, want to manifest this, you can manifest it lovingly. Okay, so that's what they were trying to get you to do, is just to think beyond what does that mean, So let's see, what else did they want to talk about? They wanted to talk about the month of the two. What's going on is that with creation, we had both the divine masculine and feminine. So this is what this month really represents, relationships, right? So feminine and masculine. Then come March, we're all like, whoo, we're feeling like amazing, right? We're like ready to take on the world. We're like, oh, it was rough. The first month was rough because there were some things surfacing that were beginning, like new beginnings that were surfacing. So what they showed me, for example, is that Zadkiel came forth and he like Dreamtime last night. He brought me like this stack of, and if you're familiar with Zadkiel, watch his channeling though. He is helps with the negative technology, and he is the general, you can say, yeah, if we want to give a name to Archangel Michael. Okay, so he's a right hand sergeant, you can say. He is like a galactic sergeant. And he really wanted to talk about these negative technologies for you all. Okay, so we talked about that. And then he also showed me that what's occurring right now is that these months really happen where it's there, since we have, with all endings are renewals and rebirth, right? So we have the mother and father figure, right? So with that, with creation at the beginning of time, where we were created out of, say, nothingness, emptiness, came forth the mother and father, divine feminine and masculine. And with that, they birth a child. Okay. So when they birth that child, what did that become? That's why a lot of us see the 333, because it's a union of the Holy Trinity, the mind, body, and soul, as well as specifically the divine father, mother, and child. And how this is a beautiful cycle throughout creation, because it wasn't until we came out of the two as the source, where we created our first fractal, and where we kept multiplying the fractals, is when we became the three, and the numbers kept multiplying. So there's great energy and power coming forth for the next month. You've done a beautiful job. You've hung in there. Beautiful, beautiful. So that's the strength there, is that it's like, in a sense, like a completion of those energies you spoke of. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if there's anything else they want to talk about. That is all for today. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Oh, okay. One more thing is with the timelines, it is, we talked about the shifting, what's going on. It's positive. Focus on the positive. And if you have any negative coming up, allow for it to surface, heal it, transmute it, cleanse it with all that we mentioned and all that we've mentioned in we've given you so many different techniques through different archangels and other benevolent beings, that there is like, you could, some of you, write notes. Yeah, write notes. Take them down, bring some of those energies forth so that you can continue to flourish and blossom. We are right on track, you all. We're right on in that timeline. We have had a lot of black magic surfacing, like a lot of people being influenced through we call it in a Hispanic community brujeria. There's Santeria that they claim that is positive, but however, it is not anything that requires blood or any kind of exchange like blood, or it's going to be negative, because we could create without taking blood, or we can create without taking another animal's life. We can manifest from our own infinite source energy. We had that going on. Some of you might have been congested here, clearing away some of, say, current people trying to send you negative energy, or, though you don't, if you don't believe in it and that stuff, like someone can harm you, black magic, then, it won't happen. But I'm talking about some of you who have not been setting intensive force fields, then sometimes you can feel that negative energy because you're too open. It's going to come in. Yeah, so we have a lot of that releasing out from the earth. We've talked about it through past information. Black magic releasing. Specifically, we had releasing black magic from the coronavirus. That's the last thing we'll finish up, is that they were using the coronavirus as a form of fear to, you know, do black magic. Okay, well, it's been beautiful to be here with you all. I love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you for being here. If you want to support, again, Patreon, Rising Phoenix Aurora, risingphoenixaurora.com. Check out my website. I'm working on it right now. I have a new look going on, so check it out. It's and then we have also, what's new is that lasting here. I keep saying lasting. We've talked about, you know, archangels through our channeling. So now we created a platform in my website. How many of you have researched archangels? And at the beginning, you know, I started awakening and I knew archangels. I started researching angels of, you know, and when you go on the internet, it's like ridiculous. It's like, oh, you know, don't reach out to this angel. You're not worthy. Or, you know, again, that whole programming that, you know, we're separate from God, or we're separate from, you know, yeah, they're, you know, don't bother them. or talking negatively, saying, oh yeah, the archangels are part of the, you know, the negativity that's here trying to control you know, humanity. Actually, no. The archangels are the opposite, are the polarity. So we got archons here who are strong, and guess who's stronger or even stronger? The archangels. So of course they're going to tell you that, yeah, they're bad because the archons want to keep you controlled in that. But no, the archangels are the only ones, the Elohim, the seraphim angels are the only ones that can actually come say face to face to an archon, and not, unfortunately, you know, not allow for them to harm someone. So yes, through that platform, find out, we made public the 13 keys on there, as well as the locations where they're at. So there's a map that you can see. Please help us out. It's really important for this positive timeline we were talking about, organic timeline, that we help out. And read what I wrote, because it teaches you how to connect to the keys briefly on there. And then it tells you what guardian is in charge of every key. If you guys saw, if you saw my channelings, you know which ones are, but we have put them in written form so you can find them easier accessible. Now I am working with a beautiful channel who is bringing forth Dana. You've seen her interview with me maybe a little over a year ago. She's creating the archangel images for me. So as we're creating them, we're placing them under for you all to find them under the keys. So it's giving you the key, and then it's also giving you who's the guardian over that key and how you are part of that, because every single one of you has incarnated and chosen at least one of those keys and one of those chakras and one of those laws of the universe. And you are helping amplify that, and you're helping it basically shift. You truly are helping humanity shift through the focus of these ley lines, these keys that have been unplugged and now are being rebuilt like a beautiful braid together. Okay, love you all, and I'll see you in the future. Talk to you later. Bye.